In this lesson, we'll continue adjusting the flow of our limbs, bringing our focus now to the left pelvic limb. What we'll do to start out with is to do a play blast and see how our left back limb is flowing. Here it is. Okay, so what we're looking for right now is the arcing motion in the back leg, and it's kind of difficult to see right now, and it would even be difficult to see if we scrub back and forth. But what it looks like, if we go ahead and stop this and draw in our F-check window, it looks like it's more linear, going back and forth like so. When we'd want something more of an arc, more oval shaped out of that back leg. So that's what we're going to achieve in this lesson. Let's go ahead and clean up that frame. And the way we're going to do that is to use ghosting. So let's go ahead and close out our F-check window now. We'll show our curves. What ghosting allows us to do is see the path of action in our animation, okay, for whatever we have selected. Now we're not going to go ahead and select the whole leg and view the ghosting there, or even this control curve. What we're going to do is actually create an object and link or parent that object to this control so that we'll be able to see that arc or to see the path of action clearly. The object we'll use is a locator. Let's go to create and we'll go down to locators. Now we can't see it right now. We need to go to show and turn on the visibility of it. So there it is, that little locator right in the center of our scene. With it now selected, we'll go to one of our manipulators. We'll go to our move tool. Okay, let's make sure we're going to move that, and let's vert snap it right there to our left pelvic limb. Okay, we want to try to get it centered. It doesn't have to be completely centered, but we'll get it around that position. So with it now selected, we'll hold V, go to this control, middle mouse button, click, and just drag slightly, and it should pop right there to about the center. And once there, we'll scale it up just a little bit, not too much, to about this size here. Okay, once we've done that, with it selected, we'll shift select our control and hit P to parent. So now, wherever that leg is going to move, our locator is going to move along with it. So from there, let's go ahead and work on ghosting that locator to see how our movement's looking. We'll go up to animate. From there, we want to go to ghost selected, options, and let's just go ahead and use our default settings, our global preferences. So we'll just reset our settings and hit ghost. So now when we do that, we can see the path of action that this leg is taking in our animation. And notice it does look like it's going in somewhat of an oval shape until we get to the beginning of our animation. Notice what it does. If we go to frame 1, we can see, alright, it flows. Okay, this is around this time from frames 10 to 12. And then here's frame 1 and 13. Or actually, this is frame 12 here. This is about frame 11, frame 10. But it goes around and then it comes down, okay, into more of a bean shape, whereas we're looking for more of an oval shape. So now that we have this information, we can get that oval shape. We can go to our graph editor. We'll go to the translate Y of this control. Let's go ahead and select it now. We'll go to our Y, frame it up, and we will go ahead and select the keys on frames 1 and 13. Okay, we'll get a better view in here. And now we know we need to bring this up to get it more oval shaped. So we'll just hold shift and middle mouse button, click and drag up. Oh, and we do want to make sure we're in one of our other manipulators. We were in scale and we were getting the keys moving up, but just to make sure our keys aren't scaling but actually moving, we'll go to our move tool, hold shift and middle mouse button, click and drag up to about this position. And now notice as we scrub through, we're getting more of an oval shape that we're looking for, a better path of action in our animation. Much better. Excellent. So here's a real good benefit of utilizing ghosting in our animation. Excellent. So from there, what we could do, once we've tested that, is delete our locator. We no longer need it. And we can get right into cleaning our F-curves, starting from our Y. So let's see. On frame 3, do we need this key on this frame? Let's see what happens if we delete it. Okay, nothing major has occurred, so that's fine. Okay, then we could go to frame 5. And let's see. We did want to keep the position on frame 5, so it'll be lined up with the reference that we have, going for the correct poses. But what we can do is adjust our tangency to get a better flow there. Great. Now let's check out frames, even frames let's see, frames 7 and 8. Okay, do we actually need those keys there? Let's see what happens if we go ahead and delete them. Okay, nothing major has happened, so that's fine. And then if we wanted to, we could select the tangency on frame 6, bring that down a little bit there. Great. So that's looking good still. And then as we get to frame 11, you can go ahead and adjust the tangency here to get a better flow. And let's see if we even need this pose on frame 12. We'll go ahead and delete that. And notice nothing major has happened, so that's fine. Great. So once we've done that, we can now go to fixing up our Z. And we have a few things to fix up here. We can do. Let's see if we need this key on frame 3. We can select it, delete, and nothing major has happened. And what we'll actually be able to do is maintain that pose still, okay, or a similar pose when we adjust frames 1 and 13. We'll get to that at the end though. As we go through, let's see, do we need this key on frame 6? We'll keep the key on frame 5, but how about frame 6? See what happens if we delete that. Okay, it has shifted back. From here, what we could do is just select the key on frame 5 and bring that up to get the pose right back to where it was. Okay, and there's the silhouette, getting that space right in there. We could even check that out from the side view. Okay, we're maintaining that same silhouette. Great. Excellent. And again, we want to strive for strong silhouettes because that's going to lead to a more readable animation. That's a more appealing animation too. So now as we get to frame 8, we'll select that key, see if we need it. Okay, nothing major has happened, and then we could even take the key on frame 9, bring up the right, or bring down the right half to bring up the left. Going right back to the pose we once had. Okay, now here is where the foot's going to be planted for, it's just 2 frames. Okay, so if we wanted to, we could almost leave the tangency as it is now, or at least leave the keys here and fix the tangency slightly. But again, to get into the habit of making sure when the foot's planted to have linear curves, what we'll do is what we've done before. We'll select our tangency, break it, okay, and just adjust the right half since the foot should be planted as the curve's going out, coming back in on frame 9. Make it linear. And then on frame 10, again, we'll select this key. And what we could actually do is make this totally linear. Okay, to fix it there. Didn't need to adjust the tangency at all there, on the other half of it. Great. So now as we get to frame 11, I wonder if we need this key. Let's see what happens if we delete it. Nothing major has occurred. Okay, so that's fine. And we'll go to frames 1 and 13. Fix up the ends. Okay, selecting them both, we'll middle mouse button, click and drag up, and notice we've got that pose right back on frame 3 as what we discussed. Excellent. So from here we can even minimize our curve editor, our graph editor, and hit play to see what we're getting now. Excellent. So we're getting some nice smooth motion, and we know that our arc is improved from doing the ghosting. So we've looked at a lot of or at least one cool thing in this lesson as far as testing out our path of action is concerned, and that's utilizing ghosting, the benefits of doing that. So we'll stop the lesson here. In the next lesson, we'll just continue on cleaning up our F curves. We do need to finish up the left pelvic limb, so we'll do that and see if we can move on to the right.